the dream journal that predicted my future. Emma Thompson was a 23-year-old aspiring writer, her life a patchwork of dreams and uncertainties. Her days were spent in a cozy little apartment filled with books, a vintage typewriter, and an ever-growing collection of journals. She often felt the weight of expectation pressing down on her, both from the world around her and from within. Writing was her escape, her therapy, and the only way she knew how to articulate the confusion swirling in her mind. One rainy afternoon, seeking refuge from the dreary weather, Emma decided to explore her grandmother's attic. Her grandmother had passed away a few years ago, leaving behind a house filled with memories, stories, and secrets. Emma had always been curious about the woman who had lived such a vibrant life, filled with tales of love and adventure. As she climbed the creaky stairs to the attic, the air grew thick with dust, and the light dimmed. Boxes were stacked haphazardly and forgotten items lay scattered about. As she rummaged through the clutter, Emma's fingers brushed against a leather-bound journal tucked away in a corner. The journal was aged, the cover cracked and worn, but the title was still visible. Dream Journal. Curiosity ignited, Emma pulled it from its resting place. Flipping through the pages, she marveled at her grandmother's elegant handwriting, each entry a glimpse into the dreams that haunted and inspired her. What caught Emma's attention was not just the dreams themselves, but the uncanny nature of them. Her grandmother had dreamed of events before they happened, a marriage, a child, an unexpected reunion. As she read on, a chill crept down Emma's spine. One entry described a dream about a storm that would hit their town, a storm that had indeed occurred just as her grandmother had foreseen. Another entry discussed a stranger who would come into her life, bringing both joy and heartbreak. Emma felt a strange connection to her grandmother, a woman she had only known through stories and faded photographs. The final entry was dated just before her grandmother's passing, a reflection on love and the importance of cherishing every moment. That night, Emma couldn't shake the feeling of destiny as she tucked the journal under her pillow. She felt an inexplicable pull toward the dreams that lay within its pages and whispered a silent promise to herself, "I will find my story." The following night, Emma experienced her first vivid dream. She found herself in a sunlit meadow, surrounded by wildflowers swaying in the gentle breeze. The sky was a brilliant blue and the air was filled with the sweet scent of blooming flowers. A boy stood in the distance, his back turned to her. As she approached, the warmth of the sun seemed to radiate between them. When he turned, she was met with the most captivating hazel eyes she had ever seen. "Who are you?" she asked, her voice barely a whisper. "I'm Lucas," he replied, a smile breaking across his face. "I've been waiting for you." Emma woke up with her heart racing, the dream feeling so real that she could still feel the warmth of the sun on her skin. She couldn't shake the feeling of having met Lucas before, even though he was a stranger. The dream lingered in her mind throughout the day, filling her with an inexplicable sense of hope. A week later, while volunteering at a local shelter, she finally met him. Lucas was helping distribute food, his laughter infectious as he interacted with the children. Emma's heart skipped a beat. It was him, the boy from her dream. "Emma, right?" Lucas said, extending his hand. "I've seen you here before. It's nice to finally meet you." They quickly struck up a conversation, discovering shared interests and similar passions. Their connection felt immediate, as if they were two pieces of a puzzle that had finally clicked into place. Days turned into weeks, and their relationship blossomed. Emma found herself lost in the depths of Lucas's laughter, the warmth of his gaze, and the way he made her feel alive. They shared dreams of the future, exploring the world together, and creating memories that would last a lifetime. As spring painted the world in vibrant colors, Emma and Lucas spent their days exploring parks, attending art shows, and sharing quiet moments under the stars. Emma was enthralled by Lucas's passion for life. He had a way of seeing beauty in everything, and it inspired her to be more adventurous. One evening, they found themselves on a secluded beach, the waves crashing gently against the shore. The sky was a canvas of orange and pink hues, and the air was filled with the sweet scent of salt and freedom. They sat together, toes buried in the sand, sharing secrets and laughter. "Do you ever dream about the future?" Lucas asked, his voice soft. Emma hesitated, her mind drifting to the journal. "Sometimes," she replied, "but I think it's more about living in the moment, don't you?" Lucas turned to face her, his expression serious. "I believe our dreams can guide us. They reveal our hopes and fears. I think they're powerful." Emma felt a shiver run down her spine. She thought of her grandmother's journal, the dreams that had come true. What if dreams could tell us something about our future? She mused. Lucas smiled, his eyes sparkling. "Then we should dream big." As the sun dipped below the horizon, Lucas took Emma's hand, intertwining their fingers. "I want to dream with you, Emma. I want to build a future together." Tears of joy brimmed in Emma's eyes as she squeezed his hand. "I want that too, Lucas, more than anything." Their hearts swelled with the promise of a shared future, and Emma felt as if she were floating on a cloud. They spent the night wrapped in each other's arms, whispering sweet nothings and making plans that felt as if they were written in the stars. However, as their love deepened, Emma began to have troubling dreams. Vivid nightmares filled with shadows loomed over their happiness. In one dream, she saw Lucas standing alone in the rain, looking lost and heartbroken. Another night, a storm raged, separating them, leaving Emma feeling helpless and afraid. Each morning, she woke with a heavy heart, the dreams gnawing at her confidence. Emma tried to push the nightmares aside, focusing on the joy of her relationship. Yet, as the weeks passed, she noticed the cracks beginning to form. Lucas became increasingly preoccupied with school and work. He often canceled plans, leaving Emma feeling lonely and neglected. The once vibrant connection they shared began to fade, replaced by misunderstandings and unspoken fears. One night, after a particularly tense argument, Lucas exploded. "Why can't you just understand? I have so much going on right now." His voice echoed in the small apartment, and Emma felt her heart shatter. "You don't even see me anymore," she cried, tears streaming down her cheeks. "I feel like I'm losing you. I need time to figure things out." Lucas shouted before storming out, leaving Emma alone in the darkness of their apartment. Days turned into weeks, and the silence between them grew unbearable. Emma felt an emptiness that consumed her, the laughter and love they once shared now replaced by an aching void. She poured her heart into the dream journal, capturing her pain and longing. Each entry became a cathartic release, tears staining the pages as she wrote about the love slipping away. One evening, while reflecting on her feelings, Emma had a dream that shook her to her core. In the dream, she saw Lucas standing at the beach, looking out at the waves, lost in thought. He turned to her, his eyes filled with sadness. "Emma, you need to fight for us," he said, his voice echoing in her mind. She woke up, heart racing, with a realization. She needed to confront her fears and reach out one last time. Gathering her courage, Emma decided to visit Lucas at his favorite spot, the beach where they had shared so many precious moments. As she approached, she found him sitting alone on the sand, his head bent in thought. Emma's heart raced as she walked closer, her palms sweaty and her breath shaky. "Lucas," she said softly, her voice trembling. "Can we talk?" He looked up, surprise flickering across his face. Emma took a deep breath, the words spilling out. "I've missed you. I've been scared and confused. I let my fears take control, and I should have fought for us instead of running away. I love you, and I want to make this work." Tears filled Lucas's eyes as he listened, his expression softening. "I've missed you too, Emma. I was feeling overwhelmed, and I didn't know how to express it. I thought I lost you." In that moment, they both realized how deeply they cared for each other. The storm that had once threatened to tear them apart had passed, revealing a brighter path ahead. They embraced, hearts beating as one, promising to communicate and support each other moving forward. With renewed hope, Emma and Lucas navigated their relationship with honesty and vulnerability. They learned to communicate openly, sharing their dreams and fears. Emma continued to document their journey in the dream journal, capturing not just the struggles but the triumphs as well. One sunny afternoon, while they were at the beach, Emma opened the journal and read one of her favorite entries aloud. It spoke of the power of love and the importance of fighting for what matters most. Lucas smiled, squeezing her hand. "We've come such a long way," he said, his eyes sparkling with love. As they watched the sun dip below the horizon, Emma felt a sense of peace wash over her. The dream journal had not only predicted her future, but also guided her through the trials of love. It taught her the importance of resilience, communication, and the unwavering power of love. Days turned into months, and Emma found herself thriving. She poured her heart into her writing, inspired by the love she shared with Lucas. Together, they dreamed of a future filled with adventures, laughter, and shared passions. But just as things seemed to settle, life threw another curveball. Lucas received an internship offer in another city, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that could advance his career. The news filled Emma with mixed emotions. Pride for him, but fear of losing what they had built together. "Emma, this could change everything for me," Lucas said one evening, excitement evident in his voice. "I have to take it." "I understand," Emma replied, trying to mask the tremor in her voice. "But what does that mean for us?" Lucas hesitated, his brow furrowing. "I think we can make it work. We can call, text, visit. It's just an internship." Emma's heart sank. She wanted to support him, but the thought of being apart felt like a weight pressing down on her chest. What if it changes everything? What if we drift apart again? Lucas reached for her hand, his grip firm. "I don't want to lose you, Emma. We can do this together." As the weeks passed, Emma grappled with her emotions. She immersed herself in writing, hoping to channel her fears into her stories. But the nightmares returned, haunting her dreams. Each night, she dreamed of Lucas standing on the beach, lost again, the distance stretching between them like an unbridgeable chasm. The day of Lucas's departure arrived, and Emma felt as if she were losing a part of herself. They stood at the train station, the air thick with unspoken words. Lucas pulled her close, his eyes searching hers. "Promise me we'll communicate," he said, his voice low. "No matter what, I promise," Emma whispered, tears spilling down her cheeks, with one last kiss. He boarded the train, and Emma watched as it pulled away, the distance between them growing with every passing second. The first few weeks without Lucas were excruciating. Emma felt a void that seemed impossible to fill. She missed the sound of his laughter, the warmth of his touch, and the way he made her feel alive. Every night she would curl up with the dream journal, pouring her heart into the pages. But as time went on, Emma began to rediscover herself. She took on new writing projects, began attending workshops, and even started a blog. The act of creation became a lifeline, helping her navigate the loneliness that threatened to consume her. One evening, as she was writing, Emma had a breakthrough. Inspired by her experiences, she began crafting a story about love, loss, and the power of dreams. The words flowed effortlessly, and for the first time in months, she felt a sense of purpose as she wrote. The memories of her relationship with Lucas flooded her mind, moments of laughter, shared dreams, and the promise they had made to each other. She realized that love wasn't just about proximity. It was about connection, trust, and the willingness to fight for one another, even from afar. Months passed, and Emma's blog gained traction. She received messages from readers who resonated with her story, and her writing began to attract attention. One afternoon, she received an email from a literary agent expressing interest in her work. Emma's heart raced as she read the words, a mixture of disbelief and excitement coursing through her. But as her career began to take off, her relationship with Lucas began to falter. The calls became less frequent, and the texts dwindled. Emma felt the weight of their distance more than ever. The fear that their love was slipping away creeping back into her heart. One evening, after a particularly difficult day, Emma sat on her bed, the dream journal open in her lap. She felt a surge of determination. She picked up her pen and began to write a letter to Lucas, pouring out her feelings, fears, and hopes for their future. "Dear Lucas," she wrote, "I know things have been tough, but I believe in us. I believe in the dreams we shared. I miss you every day, and I want you to know that you are still my heart. She sealed the letter, determined to send it, hoping it would bridge the distance that had grown between them. A week later, as Emma was at a coffee shop working on her blog, she heard a familiar voice. She looked up, and there stood Lucas, his eyes wide with surprise and disbelief. "Emma? Lucas!" She jumped up, her heart racing. They embraced, and the world around them faded away. "I didn't think I'd see you so soon," he said, a grin spreading across his face. "I wrote you a letter," Emma said, her voice trembling. "Really? I got it. I was going to call you. I've missed you so much," Lucas replied, his expression softening. They spent the day together, walking through the city, sharing stories and laughter. As they sat on a park bench, Lucas took Emma's hands in his gaze serious. "I've been thinking a lot about us. I want to make this work no matter the distance." Emma's heart swelled with hope. "I want that too, Lucas. I believe we can find a way." As the months passed, Emma and Lucas embraced their long-distance relationship with determination. They scheduled regular calls, sent letters, and made plans to visit each other whenever possible. Emma continued to write, her experiences fueling her creativity and passion for storytelling. One day she received an email from her literary agent. Her manuscript had been accepted for publication, and she was invited to a launch party in the city. Excitement coursed through her veins, but a sense of apprehension lingered. She wanted Lucas by her side to celebrate this milestone. "Will you come to the launch party?" Emma asked during one of their calls. "I wouldn't miss it for the world," Lucas replied, his voice filled with warmth. "I'm so proud of you, Emma." The night of the launch arrived, and Emma stood nervously in front of a crowd of friends, family, and supporters. As she shared her journey, the emotions surged within her. She spoke of love, dreams, and the power of resilience. And as she scanned the audience, her eyes locked with Lucas's, who stood proudly among the crowd, beaming with admiration. Tears welled in Emma's eyes as she finished her speech. "Thank you all for being a part of my journey. I believe in the power of dreams and the strength of love, and I hope my story inspires you to chase your own dreams." The applause was thunderous, and Emma felt a rush of gratitude. After the event, Lucas pulled her into a tight embrace. "You were incredible," he whispered, pride evident in his voice. "I couldn't have done it without you," Emma replied, tears of joy streaming down her cheeks. "You've always believed in me." As they left the launch party hand in hand, Emma felt a renewed sense of hope for their future. She realized that love was not just about being together physically. It was about supporting each other's dreams and aspirations. In the following months, Emma and Lucas continued to grow both individually and as a couple. They embraced the challenges of long-distance love while nurturing their connection. Emma's writing flourished, and Lucas's internship turned into a full-time job, leading to exciting opportunities. One evening, as they sat on the beach where their love story began, Lucas turned to Emma, his expression serious. "I've been thinking about the future." "I want to build a life with you." Emma's heart raced. "Are you saying what I think you're saying?" "Yes," Lucas replied, a smile breaking across his face. "I want to be with you, Emma, forever." Tears of joy filled Emma's eyes as she nodded, overwhelmed with emotion. "I want that too, Lucas. You're my everything." As the sun set, painting the sky in hues of gold and pink, Lucas pulled out a small velvet box. "Emma, will you marry me?" With tears streaming down her cheeks, Emma nodded, her heart overflowing with love. "Yes, 1,000 times, yes!" They embraced, the waves crashing around them, the promise of a beautiful future ahead. Emma knew that their journey was just beginning, filled with love, dreams, and the strength to overcome any obstacle together. As the years went by, Emma and Lucas planned their wedding together, each decision a small piece of the future they were building. They spent countless nights sketching out their dreams, discussing where they wanted to live, how many children they hoped to have, and what adventures awaited them. Their love had weathered storms, and now it felt unbreakable. The wedding day arrived, and it was everything they had dreamed it would be. Friends and family gathered in a picturesque garden adorned with flowers, the scent of blossoms filling the air. Emma wore a delicate lace gown, her heart racing with excitement. Lucas stood at the altar looking dapper in his tailored suit, his hazel eyes shimmering with love. When Emma walked down the aisle, she felt a rush of emotions. With each step, she could see the pride in her mother's eyes and the joy in her father's smile. As she reached Lucas, they exchanged vows that held promises of love, loyalty, and dreams yet to be fulfilled. "I promise to love you in every lifetime," Lucas said, his voice steady and heartfelt. "And I promise to support your dreams and chase our adventures together," Emma replied, her voice thick with emotion. As they sealed their vows with a kiss, the crowd erupted in applause, and Emma felt as if the world had fallen away, leaving only the two of them in that moment. The day was filled with laughter, dancing, and the love of friends and family, and as the sun set, Emma and Lucas stole away to a quiet corner of the garden. "I can't believe we're finally married," Emma said, her heart swelling with happiness. "This is just the beginning," Lucas replied, wrapping his arms around her waist. "I can't wait to see what the future holds for us." As newlyweds, Emma and Lucas settled into a cozy apartment in the city, their lives intertwined in a beautiful tapestry of shared dreams and ambitions. Emma's writing career flourished, and Lucas excelled in his job. They reveled in the joy of being together, supporting one another through the ups and downs of life. But as time passed, they faced a new challenge. Emma received an offer for a prestigious writing residency that would require her to move across the country for 6 months. Excitement mingled with apprehension as she shared the news with Lucas. "I can't believe this opportunity has come up for you," Lucas exclaimed, his eyes sparkling with pride. "You have to go." "But it means being apart again," Emma said, her heart heavy. "I don't want to lose what we have." Lucas reached for her hand, his grip reassuring. "Emma, this is your dream, and I believe in you. We can make this work just like we did before." Tears filled Emma's eyes as she looked at him. "You always know how to encourage me, don't you?" "I just want you to chase your dreams." "Emma, we can do this together." After much consideration, Emma accepted the residency, and with a heavy heart, she packed her things, preparing for another chapter in her life. The day of her departure was bittersweet. They stood at the airport, holding each other tightly. "I'll miss you every day," Lucas said, his voice thick with emotion. "Me too," Emma replied, tears streaming down her cheeks. "But we'll FaceTime, and I'll write you letters." "I'll hold on to every word," he promised, kissing her forehead. As she boarded the plane, Emma felt a mixture of excitement and fear. This was a new adventure, but the thought of being away from Lucas weighed heavily on her heart. The first few weeks of the residency were exhilarating. Emma immersed herself in her writing, finding inspiration in the new surroundings. She met fellow writers, attended workshops, and explored the vibrant city. But as the days turned into weeks, the distance between her and Lucas began to feel insurmountable. Their nightly calls became strained, the conversation often drifting into awkward silences. Emma missed the warmth of Lucas's presence, his laughter that felt like home. She found herself pouring all her emotions into her writing, crafting stories that reflected her longing and heartache. One evening, after a particularly difficult phone call, Emma sat alone in her small apartment, tears streaming down her face. She opened her dream journal, flipping through the pages filled with memories of their love story. Each entry reminded her of the bond they shared and the promise of their future. As she read, she stumbled upon the passage where her grandmother had written about the importance of fighting for love. Inspired, Emma picked up her pen and began to write a letter to Lucas, pouring her heart onto the pages. "Dear Lucas," she wrote, "I miss you more than words can express. I feel lost without you and I want to fight for us. Let's not lose what we have. I believe in our love, and I believe in us." She sealed the letter and decided to send it, hoping it would bridge the gap that had formed between them. 2 days later, Emma received a letter in return. As she opened it, her heart raced. Lucas's handwriting was familiar, and his words felt like a balm to her aching heart. "Emma," he wrote, "I've missed you too. It's been hard, and I feel the distance between us. But I believe in our love, and I want to fight for us as well. Let's make a plan to visit each other. I want to remind you of our dreams." Emma felt a surge of hope as she read his words. They decided to plan a visit, and Lucas booked a flight to see Emma in 2 weeks. The thought of being with him again filled her with anticipation and joy. When the day finally arrived, Emma stood at the airport, her heart pounding with excitement. As she spotted Lucas walking toward her, a rush of emotions flooded her. They embraced tightly, and Emma felt a weight lift off her shoulders. "I've missed you," Lucas whispered, his breath warm against her ear. "I've missed you too," Emma replied, tears of joy streaming down her cheeks. They spent the weekend exploring the city together, visiting art galleries, trying new restaurants, and reminiscing about their love. Every moment felt precious, a reminder of the bond they shared. As their time together drew to a close, Emma felt a renewed sense of hope for their future. They talked about their dreams, the life they wanted to build together, and the importance of communication and support. "I want to be there for you, Emma," Lucas said as they watched the sunset. "No matter where life takes us, I'll always be by your side." Emma's heart swelled with love. "And I want to fight for our dreams together. We can make this work. I know we can." With each passing day, they rebuilt their connection, their love stronger than ever. Emma felt inspired to write, pouring her heart into her stories, while Lucas thrived in his job. They continued to support each other, even from a distance. When Emma's residency came to an end, she returned home with a renewed sense of purpose and a heart full of love. She and Lucas had grown individually and as a couple, and they were ready to embrace the next chapter of their lives together. As they sat on their couch, Emma turned to Lucas, her heart racing with excitement. "What do you think about moving in together?" Lucas's eyes lit up with joy. "I'd love that. I want to build a life with you, Emma." They spent the next few weeks searching for a new apartment, excited to create a home filled with love and memories. On moving day, they filled boxes with their belongings, laughter filling the air as they reminisced about their journey together. Emma felt a deep sense of contentment, knowing that they had fought for their love and come out stronger on the other side. As they settled into their new home, Emma and Lucas embraced the challenges of living together. They learned the importance of compromise, communication, and understanding. Each day brought new adventures, and they reveled in the joy of building a life side by side. Emma's writing flourished, and she published her first novel, drawing inspiration from their love story and the journey they had taken together. Lucas supported her every step of the way, his unwavering belief in her talent fueling her passion. One evening, as they sat on the balcony watching the sunset, Emma turned to Lucas, her heart overflowing with gratitude. "I couldn't have done this without you," she said, her eyes glistening with emotion. Lucas smiled, pulling her close. "You've always had the strength within you, Emma. I just believed in you when you needed it most." As the sky turned shades of pink and gold, Emma felt a sense of peace wash over her. They had weathered storms, faced challenges, and fought for their love. The dream journal had not only predicted her future, but also guided her through the trials of love. Years later, Emma sat in her cozy writing nook, the dream journal open in her lap. It was filled with memories of love, struggles, and the power of dreams. As she flipped through the pages, she smiled at the journey she had taken. Lucas walked in, their daughter in his arms, both beaming with joy. "Mommy, can we read the dream journal?" their daughter asked, her eyes wide with curiosity. Emma nodded, her heart swelling with love. "Of course, sweetie. This journal holds our family's legacy, our dreams, and the love that brought us together." As they settled down together, Emma began reading the stories of her grandmother and the lessons learned along the way. She hoped that her daughter would understand the importance of love, resilience, and the magic of dreams, and as they read, Emma realized that dreams could guide them, inspire them, and lead them to a future filled with endless possibilities. Their story was a testament to the power of love, a journey that began with a dream journal and blossomed into a beautiful life together.